India is giving some back-to-back setbacks to China, and now it has received one of the biggest setbacks, a free trade deal between India and Australia. Hi and welcome to TFI English, the national socio-political analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Tanya and I'm here to tell you about the free trade agreement between India and Australia and why China is seething after hearing that. On Saturday, a major development took place that threatens to put China in deep trouble. India and Australia, two of China's major enemies, have signed a free trade deal that promises to change the very character of the Indo-Pacific region by marginalizing China. How? Let's find out. Both India and Australia have realized that they must work together to keep their supply chains away from China. However, the two countries didn't manage to secure a trade deal despite a decade of negotiations. But on Saturday, the Australia-India Economic Cooperation and Trade Agreement was finally signed by the trade ministers of the countries in a virtual ceremony. The ceremony was also witnessed by India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Australian counterpart Scott Morrison. Morrison is expected to go to the polls soon and pitch the trade deals as a major diplomatic win, given the fact that it took one whole decade to be signed. What is the significance of the latest trade deal, you may ask? Well, let me give you some context. Australia's mineral industry, agriculture, food processing sector and wine industry are dependent on the Chinese economy. These sectors make a great chunk of their revenues through exports to China. Ever since Sino-Australia ties deteriorated, the Chinese have been making threats of sanctions and unfair tariffs on Australian goods. This becomes a major cause of worry for the Scott Morrison government. However, the Indo-Australian free trade deal rescues Canberra. The Morrison government therefore wants to diversify its exports industry. This is a part of Canberra's strategy to reduce dependence on China. The deal removes tariffs on the export of over 85% of Australian goods to India worth $9.4 billion. Tariffs will be removed from the sheep meat, wool, copper, coal, alumina and fresh Australian rock lobster. Similarly, tariffs on non-ferrous metals and critical minerals will also be ended. On the other hand, 96% of Indian goods too will find duty-free access to Australia. The deal will be expanded further. India's Minister of Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal too said that India wanted to work towards a full free trade deal with Australia in an accelerated manner. Morrison said that the free trade deal with the world's second most populous nation represented one of the biggest economic doors there is to open in the world today. So, India has created a platform for Australia to diversify its exports. It means that China will be sidelined and India will take its place. The free trade deal also demolishes Beijing's dream to assume the leadership role in trading activity in the Indo-Pacific. India had opted to stay out of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, the mega free trade agreement that includes most of the big powers in the region. However, by finalizing its free trade deal with Australia, India is making it clear that it's not going to leave the region in China's hands. Regardless of the RCEP, China continues to fight a trade war with Australia. It is also locked in disputes with the other two big powers in the region, Japan and South Korea. India has started with Australia and now it can seek more free trade deals with the likes of Japan, South Korea and the Asian countries. The RCEP is more or less neutralized and this is bound to rattle the Chinese.